It's being described as history being made in Jammu and Kashmir. They are poles apart, but they're coming together to form a government. The BJP and the PDP. After more than 2 months of intense negotiations, Mufti Mohammad Sayeed all set to take oath as the Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir once again. Massive security arrangements in place for the VVIP guest list. The guests will start arriving at the Zorawar Singh Stadium in Jammu. Now, what we're being told, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the BJP President Amit Shah, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley, BJP Patriarch Lal Krishna Advani, they will all be there. BJP's Nirmal Singh is expected to be the Deputy Chief Minister. The BJP-PDP alliance will form a 25-member cabinet, 12 PDP, 11 BJP. Sajjad Lone of the People's Conference, he's also likely to be a part of this government. And for more on this, I want to bring in Siddiq Wahid, academic, activist, someone who understands Jammu and Kashmir very closely. Ijaz Ilmi represents the BJP on our panel. Executive Editor Javed with me on this. They're poles apart, yet they're coming together. So do unlike poles attract each other? Will this succeed?
Frankly, I don't know. And it all remains to be seen, because I think the most important document will be the CPM, or as it's being called, the Agenda for an Alliance. And I think that once that is made public, we'll be able to see.
So is this an alliance for development, as the PDP and the BJP call it, or as the NC seems to indicate, opportunist parties coming together?
Well, I mean, opportunist parties seems a bit sort of redundant, because parties are, I mean, political parties are opportunists. I mean, they have to take hold of opportunity. I think it's, I've called it before on your show, something called an adjustment for power. You know,
it's an adjustment for power, because both have been out of power.
Both have been out of power, but also, you know, they see that this is probably the most stable sort of thing that can remain because of the numbers that it includes.
Okay, but Ijaz, this can easily be derailed, because these are parties that are actually poles apart. They don't see eye to eye on anything. And yet what we're being told is Ram Madhav and Hasib Drabu, they were virtually like Ram Lakshman for two months, squabbling together, going through the entire common minimum program with a fine-tooth comb. So what brings you together except power?
You know, if this government had been formed 2 months earlier, I could have accepted that it was an alliance for power. But when you go through the fine print and you negotiate on each point, despite being ideologically opposed on various parameters, don't forget what Srinagar is facing, what the valley is facing post the floods, and the mandate. You have to respect the mandate. These two formations, the PDP and the BJP, have got the mandate in respective areas from the people to represent them. It's a responsibility which the BJP understands, that is which is one of the most important reasons for forming this alliance. And we're talking about the NC, they can call us whatever, but the people saw what they did and they negated their efforts and threw them out, lock, stock and barrel. That is, in a democracy, you have to respect the mandate and take responsibility for the mandate.
But Javed, I mean, look at the issues that we're talking about, whether it's the Armed Forces Special Powers Act, Article 370, talking to Hurriyat, talking to Pakistan, whatever, they don't see eye to eye on anything. How will this work?
Gaurav, don't put it past politicians to see eye to eye on issues that they don't see eye to eye. They are very pragmatic people. When they want to, they can make two ends meet. And this is precisely what has happened. This is a prudent, practical thing to do for the state of Jammu and Kashmir, as also for the country. You have a BJP government at the center, and it also brings the two regions together, you know, the valley as well as Jammu. You have a party, the BJP, which won almost all the seats in the Jammu region.
Yes, PDP 128.
Yeah, PDP swept the valley. So therefore, if it had been just all the valley parties that got together and formed an alliance, this was a recipe for disaster. By involving the BJP, there will be some amount of stability, there will be some amount of calm. But the real issue is, the real test will come in the months ahead, you know, when the rubber hits the road. It's all very good when you're wooing each other. It's only when you start living together. When the marriage takes place and you start living together, then the contradictions start arising.
Criticism in the valley, Siddiq, is that what could actually happen is NC, or there are several other parties of people who are saying that what the Sheikh Accord with Indira Gandhi did, or the Rajiv Farooq Accord did, the importance of Sheikh Abdullah went down, the importance of Farooq Abdullah went down, their respect went down. The same could well happen to Mufti Sahib.
I think it already has. I mean, the credibility of the PDP has suffered a huge blow in the last 2 months. And I think that is something that has to be watched, whether it can revive itself and things. And I think that as far as the mandate goes, you know, in a democracy, just to go back from where I was saying, the mandate is to the largest single party, whether it's by 3 votes or 30 votes. I mean, 30 seats or 3 seats. And that party had a responsibility for the state as a whole, not necessarily to ally itself with one party or the other, but look at it from an ideas point of view. I don't say ideology, because I think the two things are completely different. Yeah. But from an ideas point of view. And what is it that forced, let's put it that way, the PDP to ally itself with the BJP?
Let's talk about this.
Yes. Because in that, what you have is actually a confirmation of the communal divide within the state of J&K, and that is what has disappointed me tremendously, because let's not forget, the PDP did have the option of going ahead with the majority, whether it's Muslim or Muslim Hindu or Muslim Buddhist or whatever it is. It had the option of going forward with it and demonstrating to Jammu that you don't have to have Hindu legislatures for equity.
Okay, so ideologically they may be poles apart. The ideas, can they come together? That remains to be seen. The agenda for the alliance is still not out. We leave you with these pictures. A quick break. We'll be back with much more. PDP and the BJP are poles apart, but in about half an hour from now, Mufti Mohammad Sayeed is set to take oath as the Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir. Nirmal Singh is likely to be the Deputy Chief Minister. Is this history being created in Jammu and Kashmir? It's being described as a historic day for the state. The VVIP guests include the Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the BJP President Amit Shah. Siddiq Wahid, what does this alliance actually mean on ground? Because what many people are saying at this point of time is this will not work. They're poles apart, and issues, the basic everyday governance issues, will keep them apart, completely apart.
I mean, you know, what does it mean on the ground is really irrelevant at this point, frankly, because if Mufti were to have reacted to the ground, and the BJP would have reacted to the ground, then nothing would have happened. So I don't think that, you know, sort of what the ground feels is. Certainly there is ground sentiment in both Jammu, Kashmir, as well as Ladakh, let's not forget, you know. So all of them are there. But for the moment, now there is a marriage. Illicit, licit, whatever you want to call it. There is one. We need to see what's going to happen.
Do you think this is a marriage made in heaven, or this is a marriage brought about by compulsions?
I think it's a marriage brought about by compulsions.
Okay. Now, as far as the BJP is concerned, Ijaz, for them, they're getting a toehold in Jammu and Kashmir in governance. But many say that BJP is compromising on several of its core nationalist ideologies. What about Article 370? How can the BJP stay silent on that after what Shyama Prasad Mukherjee did?
Well, you had a start question in the Rajya Sabha 3 days ago, and the government reply was that there's no question of repealing Article 370. So the position is down in black and white as far as 370 is concerned. It's as far as 370 is concerned. But my concern is that there are a lot of naysayers, there's optics, atmospherics, rhetorics. For the first time, an effort is being made to hammer out all discussions over a prolonged period, get it down to writing, so you have an agenda for governance, which is a crying need of the hour for a water flood ravaged valley, and the divergence of Jammu region, Kashmir region, Ladakh. If we can get congruence and confluence in all these three for governance, for the people, that's the idea which the BJP is working on.
If the common minimum program or agenda for development says the top thing is flood rehabilitation, tackle corruption, develop Srinagar and Jammu as smart cities, is that something that will make people both in Kashmir and in Jammu happy?
Listen, I think that people in Jammu and Kashmir are, are not going to reject any kind of development, any kind of thing, because why not? I mean, it has to happen at some point. But that's not the core issue. The core issue is the resolution of the dispute that is called Jammu and Kashmir. And that has to be addressed at the end of the day. That has not been addressed for 67 years.
Okay. The divide between Jammu and Kashmir, will this alliance bridge that divide, or will it fail to do that? That remains to be seen. 11 o'clock is the swearing-in ceremony.